ردي بالسماعات انت. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم محمد هند.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. كيف الحال يا هند؟
الحمد لله.
باهي كويس. أنا سامحيني نسيت ما بعتلكش رابط الحصة اللي فاتت. والله جاهز هو. خلينا نبعتهولك حتى تلقيه في البريد متاعك، تسجيل الحصة اللي فاتت، لأن حتى أنا تكلمت مع نهى فقلت لها لكن نسيت ما بعتلكش الرابط الحق يعني. لكن مسجلة الحصة اللي فاتت يعني ريكوردد. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
اوكي شكرا دكتور.
عفوا. كيف حالك باشمهندس؟ شنو امورك؟
والله الحمد لله ماشية.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's start. خلينا نبدو بنديروا كي refreshment. نديروا revision سريع باش نبدو حصتنا. Okay, so let's start our revision. Okay, so last time in my last lesson we talked about we have two things we talked about. The first one was in the first lesson we talked about Jamie Oliver, the famous celebrity chef. I don't know if you know about him. Do you know about Jamie Oliver? Hind, have you heard of Jamie Oliver, the chef?
No, I didn't know. No.
Okay, so Jamie Oliver is a very famous English chef. He has lots of programs and lots of shows on television. So we talked a little bit about Jamie Oliver. You can see all the details in the recorded lesson. So I'll send you the lesson later, and you can see the part about him. We also had in the first lesson a revision of some of the important grammatical structures and rules we used in the previous courses, especially in elementary A and B. So we had a little revision of present simple, past simple, present continuous, going to. So we had a revision of all of this. And then the last thing we talked about in the second lesson was supercommuters. So supercommuters, we talked about the meaning of the word commuter. So commuter, do you know what it means? Hind, have you heard of this word, commuter?
Computer.
Not computer, commuter.
Would you please say it again?
Commuter.
No,
Commuter.
So.
Have you heard of commuter?
Commuter.
Yes.
No. I didn't.
All right. So can you see it on the screen?
Right.
Can you see it here on the screen? Is my voice clear or can? Okay, so I think Mohammed, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So Hind, okay, you have a problem with your internet. I'll send her.
Sorry. No. That's the topper. Yes, it's clear. Okay.
But your voice is not clear. Make sure that maybe if there's anything downloading, auto download on your phone, maybe check it because it's slowing down your connection, I think. Okay, so let me just quickly talk about commuter. So maybe Mohammed, do you know this word? Can you remember it, or do you know what it means, Mohammed? Commuter?
Yes.
Okay, can you explain it in your words in English?
Okay. Such as person work in another city and go and back to the work.
Exactly right. This is the meaning of commuter. Someone who lives a little far away from where he works and he needs to travel, or she needs to travel a distance to get to work. This is the meaning of commuter. Okay. All right. Hind, your voice is still choppy. I think there's a problem with your connection. But if you can hear me and if you can see the screen, then that's okay. Even if there's a problem with your connection, you can always see the recording later. Okay. Mohammed, hi. Are you saying something?
Hello.
Hello, Malak. Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All
And
right.
about you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm fine, thanks.
Maybe I will busy today, but I'm listening you.
Okay, so no problem. You can listen, and if you need to see the lesson again, of course, you can always watch the recording later. Okay.
Okay.
All right then. Okay. So so let's continue. So like Mohammed said, commuter is someone who lives far away from the city. Exactly right. And then we also had a revision of these words, how to use these words, and we divided them. Let's see if we can remember how to do them again. So so it seems that Mohammed, you're the only one today who's available. So let's see, let's work you and I and see if we can do this. So if we want to say work and we have a restaurant, of course we should say work in a restaurant. This is the right way to say it. And if I want to say, for example, if I want to talk about children, I should say work with children. Now, what about teenagers? What's the right word to use, in your opinion? What do you think, Mohammed?
With.
With, that's correct, yes. So if you're talking about teenagers, we say work with teenagers and work with children. Who else do we say work with? Maybe Hind, you can guess. Can you guess this, Hind? So let me explain the exercise for you, okay? So the idea is we want to say work, the verb work, we want to use it in 4 different ways. So we can say work in a restaurant, for example, but if we want to say work as, we can say work as a journalist. We can also say work for, like work for a company or work for a newspaper. And we can say work with. So we can say work with children or work with teenagers, like Mohammed just told us now. So what about, for example, the word receptionist? What's the best way to use the job receptionist? In which box do you think it goes best?
Receptionist.
Receptionist. Receptionist. How do we use it? Do we say work in a receptionist, work for a receptionist, work with a receptionist, work as a receptionist? I
think work as receptionist. I think so.
That's correct, and yes, that's the correct answer. Okay. Work as a receptionist is the right.
Receptionist.
Yeah, as a receptionist. Can you see the screen? Can you see the mouse moving?
Yes, yes.
All right. If it's too far away, all you need to do is zoom with your fingers and you can see it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so all of this was, of course, in the previous lesson. So I'm just doing a little revision here, just revising. Now this exercise 2, I'm moving now to exercise 2. Now exercise 2, this is new. We didn't talk about it last time. So I'm going to explain what this is. This is word stress. Of course, I've talked a little bit about word stress, and it's an important part of the English language, especially if you want your pronunciation and you want your intonation to sound natural. If you want to sound natural, like a British person or an American or any native, you should know how to use word stress. Okay, so let's read the first point. It says, in words of 2 or more syllables, 1 syllable always has the main stress. Okay, so they're trying to tell us if you have a word with 2 or more syllables, syllable means, of course, a sound part of a word. Okay, so for example, words like Libya has 2 syllables.
Syllables.
Yeah, so this is the sound part of a word is called syllable. But syllables, some of them are stressed, so they are louder, and some of them are not stressed. So for example, when you say Libya, we don't say Libya, we say Libya. So the first part is stressed. The L part, Libya, lib is stressed. Yeah is not stressed. This is the idea. So they're trying to tell you that in words which have 2 or more syllables, there's always one syllable which is stressed, okay? So here, let's read these words. Let me read them out. And I want you to notice which part sounds stressed. Of course, the part with the little O, this is the stressed part, okay? So we have office. Okay, I'll say it and you can repeat after me. Office.
Office.
Journalist.
Journalist.
Multinational.
Multinational. National. Okay. Multinational.
Correct. Multinational.
Multinational.
Company.
Okay. Company.
Children.
Children.
Department.
Department.
People.
People.
London.
London.
Okay, I have a word and I want you to read this word. And I want you to read it in the Libyan way and in the British way. How do we say this word? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see this one. Office. Lab.
How do we say it?
You mean the words that you?
No, I just want you to read this word. Just read it.
This word, laptop. You mean this one?
Yes.
Okay, laptop.
Okay, that's correct. But what do people say in Libya? How do they say this word?
Laptop.
They say it in another way, right? There's more stress on the second part, I think. Here in Libya,
laptop. Okay.
Yeah, most people in Libya say laptop, right?
Laptop, yes.
Yeah, but is this right?
No, it's not.
It's not right because the stress should be on the first syllable. So like you said, like you pronounced it. Can you say it again, please?
Okay, laptop.
That's it. That's the correct way to say the word, okay? So the first syllable is stronger than the second syllable. Okay, so this is the idea of word stress. They want you to get the pronunciation right. Okay, now let's do these words and let's see if we can get the stress correct. And then I'll see if let's see, do we have, no, we don't. Okay, so I'll just read them and then you can repeat after me, okay? So the first word is, okay, let's see if you can read it. Let's divide them, Mohammed and Hind, okay? Mohammed, you can start.
Yes.
Okay, we want to divide the words, we want to read them out. So I'd like to hear you read these words. So you can read one word and then Hind will do the word after you, okay?
Okay. Part 2.
Yes, part 2,
Office.
B. No, the second box.
Oh. Okay. Unemployed.
Okay, Hind.
Unemployed.
Okay, you can do the second word.
Okay, teenagers.
Okay.
Teenagers.
The third word, Mohammed.
Okay.
Accountant.
Okay.
Charity.
All right. The next word.
Editor.
Editor.
Okay. The one after it, Mohammed.
Receptionist.
Receptionist.
Receptionist. Yeah.
Correct. And this one.
Newspaper.
Okay.
Newspaper.
And the last one, Hind.
Yourself.
Okay. So now I want to read them again, and I want you to notice if my pronunciation is the same or is it different. Is it close? Is it very different from what you said? So we want to compare. Okay. So the first word is unemployed. Unemployed.
Unemployed. Okay.
Unemployed.
Unemployed.
The second word is teenagers. Teenagers.
Teenagers.
So which syllable is stressed? Is it the first one or the second one? Teenagers.
I think the first one.
Correct. Correct.
Teenage.
Yes, the first part is stressed. Accountant. Accountant.
I think second one.
Correct. Correct. The second part is stressed. Okay, what about this word charity? Charity.
Charity. I think second part. T.
Do we say charity or do we say charity? What do we say?
Charity.
Okay.
Charity.
So which one is louder? Which one is more stressed? Charity.
Charity.
How many syllables?
Just,
2 syllable maybe.
no, I think 3. Shari. There's
Yes.
one in the middle. T.
Correct. So we have 3 syllables. Charity. But which one is the strongest?
Sharp.
Yeah, the first one, right? So we say charity, charity, charity.
Charity. Okay.
Okay. And the next one, I think you did it correctly.
Charity.
Editor, editor, editor,
Editor.
editor. So it's the
2.
Editor.
but which one is stressed?
Editor.
2 syllable.
Is it 2 or 3?
I think 3. A. D, there's one in the middle. D. Ter.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Editor.
Editor.
It's three syllables. So we have editor, and the first one is stressed. The same thing with receptionist.
Editor.
Receptionist. How many syllables?
4 syllable.
Receptionist. Correct. So we have 3 syllables, right? Receptionist. Receptionist. And which one is the strongest syllable? What do you think?
I think first one, receptionist.
Do we say receptionist or do we say receptionist?
Receptionist. No.
So which one is louder?
No. Yes. Could you please would you repeat it again?
Okay. Receptionist. 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 Okay, so the stress.
Okay. Bar 2.
Correct. The second.
Receptionist.
Yeah, the receptionist. This is the stress. Newspaper. Newspaper.
Newspaper. I think it's part 2.
Okay. Do we say newspaper or do we say newspaper?
Newspaper.
So which one is louder?
Newspaper. I think second part. I'm sure, but I think newspaper.
Newspaper. That's the second syllable, correct? The pay.
Yeah.
The second one, newspaper. The second syllable, correct. And the last one?
Yourself.
Correct.
You.
Is
I
it,
think first part.
do we say yourself or do we say yourself?
Yourself.
Huh?
Yourself. Okay. Yourself. Self. Wait. Let me just. Yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Second one.
It's the second one. Correct.
Yes. The second
Yeah. So here, this is the idea. They want you to practice the pronunciation. So word stress, it's part of pronunciation. This is the idea of word stress. So here in exercise number 3, it says listen again and practice the phrases from 2B. Copy the stress. Okay, so we did this together. I think we don't need to take any more time. Write the names of 4 people. describe their jobs, use. Okay, so this, we can do this as a speaking exercise, okay? So what we want to do is we want to talk about 4 people. Let's say 2 people each. So maybe Mohammed can talk about 2 people, and Hind can talk about 2 people. If Malak is free, she can also talk about 2 people. So here, what we want to do is we want to talk about these people, and we want to say what they do. So we want to talk about their jobs. So let's for example, let me start. So I can say, my friend Anis, he's a teacher. He works with children, and he works for a foreign, not maybe for is better for company. Or I can say he works with children, and he works in school. So I can use expressions from the first exercise, and I can use expressions from the second exercise. Now, I'd like you, Hind, for example, to talk about 4 people you know, talk about their jobs. And you can use phrases like this. You can use, for example, department store, bank, office, hospital, anything to talk about them.
Okay. Can I choose the job?
You can talk, yeah, you can choose the job, and you can give as many details as you want.
Okay. 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 So let me see. We talk about the secretary.
Okay.
Okay. So she's a secretary. Okay. She has to go work at 8 o'clock. Okay, every day. She has to arrange the files and typing official document.
Okay.
She has to prepare or arrange for the meeting, and she has to make a flight reservation or hotel reservation for her managers.
All right. Okay. Okay. This is great. So you talked about a secretary in detail. Yeah. Now, can you talk about someone else or another job?
Okay. Let's see.
And you can use imaginary names. You can say, for example, Fatima or Muhammad or Ahmed, or choose any names. Works in blah blah blah. He does da da da, and so on.
Yes. Doctor. Okay, let's talk about.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Take a minute so you can think. And we'll see if Mohammed can think of any other jobs.
Okay.
And you can think of your second job, because you did the first one, which is good. So you can think of the second one. And let's go back to Mohammed. Mohammed, so think of 2 jobs. You can start with one. And you can talk about your your colleague, or your coworker, or even someone in your family. You can talk about what they do, their job. You can use phrases from here. You can add phrases from your own language. You don't have to use the same ones here. So, okay, you could go. You could start.
I will try. Okay. I will talk about my shift supervisor. He works in a company. He works as a shift supervisor. The work starts from 6 o'clock. What else? I can't use. He is responsible about all the stuff, and what else? He responds all the area.
Okay.
Yes.
What else?
And distribute the work about employed.
Okay. So what do you think it's better to say? Is it better to say responsible about or responsible for?
Responsible for.
Correct.
I believe that.
That's correct. You're right, Mohammed. Yes. Okay. And you said he also distributes. He distributes work. Okay. So he distributes work. Let's write this. Or
also I can distribute missions.
okay, or you can say tasks, right? Have you heard of the word task?
Task or mission.
What's the difference between a task or a mission?
I don't know.
Mission.
What about you? What do you think, Hind? What's the difference
Mission.
between a task and a mission?
Same name, same meaning.
Same meaning?
Task, missions.
No.
Do you think it's the same, Hind?
No, I didn't think so. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think so. They have the same meaning. No.
Okay, but actually, Muhammad is half right. You're half right, Muhammad. They're close in meaning. They're not too different. But I think the problem here is how you use each one. Mission, maybe you can say, for example, a diplomatic mission. So you can say mission like this. Or for example, if we're talking about intelligence, you know, CIA, FBI with soldiers, James Bond, you know, this kind of thing, we can say mission.
You can use it for official something.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's the right difference. Mission is a little more official. It's more official. It's more formal. Mission. A task is a step that you have to do. It's like like things you have, daily tasks, we say. So for example,
but we will. But we use mission.
You use mission at work.
Yeah.
At
work we use.
Yeah, but this is the meaning of mission. Mission usually is more, I think, more formal. But they're not too different. They're very close. It's something you have to do, right? It's something you need to do.
Also, we use mission and for if we travel another company.
Correct. Yes.
In another country.
Exactly.
Training.
Because when you travel, Muhammad, it's formal, it's official, right?
Yeah.
Because you represent your country or you represent the company.
Yes.
Do you know what represent means? When we represent the company. Have you heard of the word represent? I'll write it here. Represent. Represent. So for example, let's say Mohammed works in Melita, right, Mohammed? Yeah. So for example, Melita wants to send a team to Tunisia for training or maybe a deal, some kind of business or something.
Yeah.
So when they ask Mohammed, they'll say, okay, Mr. Mohammed, who are you? He will say, I represent Melita. I speak for Melita.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes, this is the idea. Represent انك انت تمثل الشركة او تمثل الدولة او تمثل. This is the idea. Yes. To represent. Okay. And the last point you talked about, Mohammed. Is it better to say distribute work of or distribute work among employees? Which one is better, of or among?
Among.
Have you heard of the word among?
No.
Yeah, what's the meaning of the among?
Among means across, like a cross. It means to divide, to divide it amongst us. Sometimes they also use amongst. They use it like this. They also write it like this. Amongst us. So to divide something across four people, we don't say across, we say amongst. It means each, it will be a fair share. If you divide 100 amongst 100 dinars amongst four people, so you'll have 25 each. You get the idea? Amongst. Amongst يعني زي لو مترجمها بالليبي زي كأنه
يقسم يعني
يقسم على يعني زي على هنا تجي بطريقتها among و amongst. تقدروا حتى تزيدوا تراجعوها في الديكشنري يعني سجلوها عندكم في نهاية الحصة. You can check it in a dictionary. هتشوف كيف تشوفها في أمثلة. Okay, فكرتوني بنقطة مهمة. The dictionary, if you're using a dictionary, you can say dictionary or dictionary. Depends.
Dictionary.
Americans say dictionary, but the British usually say dictionary. Anyways, if you want to use a dictionary, always look for a sentence, because if you check a dictionary, you'll find the meaning, yeah? But you will also find an example. For me, the example is more important than the meaning, because if you read the sentence example, you will understand it and you will always remember it because you read it in context. In context, شو معنى كلمة in context؟ اللي هي معناها في السياق، داخل السياق.
في المحتوى.
في المحتوى in context. هذه طبعا من الحاجات اللي ديما نتكلم عليها، يعني نحاول يعني نشدد عليها شوية قصة الكونتكست هذا، لأن اللغة تعتبر مرتبطة بسياقها. يعني حتى في اللغة العربية عندنا الكلام هذا، يعني هلبة كلمات مش نفس المعنى لما تغير سياقهم. في مثلا في مكانهم هنا عندهم معنى تحطها في مكان ثاني، سياق ثاني تعطي معنى ثاني. In English, it's the same thing. So when you read a new word in context, in an example, in a sentence, you will always remember it. Okay. So pay attention to the example sentence when you're using a dictionary. This is my point. Okay, thank you very much, Mohammed and Hind. Can you think of another job, Hind, and another job, Mohammed? Can you think of other jobs?
Maybe, okay, let me try with the journalist.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna choose any name for an exam. That's it. Okay, let's see. His name, Mohammed, is a journalist. Okay. He's researching for the hidden information all the time. Okay. He's how can I say فضولي?
Curious.
Curious. Okay. He makes he interview different people. Okay. He always working for new objectives. Am I right or?
You're right. That's great.
Okay. He works for a journalist as temporary. Is it correct? I want to say he's not مش موظف دائم يعني.
اوكي. بالنسبه للصحفيين اللي ما يشتغلوش بشكل دائم يعطوا فيهم اسم اللي هو ممكن سامعين بها الكلمه دي freelancer. Have you heard of the word?
Okay, freelancer.
Yeah, he's a freelancer journalist.
Okay,
yeah.
He's a freelancer.
Yeah, freelancer, it means he's not in a long-term contract with any company or any TV station. Sometimes they say independent journalist, independent.
Okay. Okay.
All right, that's excellent. That's very nice hint. What about you, Mohammed? Can you think of another job, something different from a shift supervisor?
Maybe. المشكلة كلها في السياق، عرفت؟ بدايات يعني.
choose something easy, Mohammed. Something, for example, like let's say something which has maybe people, children, maybe old people, like a nurse or a doctor, or maybe a taxi driver, engineer, architect, something like this.
Like this. Okay, I will take about Dr. Ali.
All right. So what does Dr. Ali do?
He's a doctor.
All right.
Dentist.
He's a dentist. He's a dentist.
Dentist, yeah, yeah. He check about teeth.
So what does he do exactly in his? What are his daily tasks? I mean, what does he normally do every day? Where does he go? And does it take him a long time to go there?
Yeah. He work in hospital.
Okay.
Public hospital.
All right.
Not special.
Okay, not a private clinic. He works in a public hospital.
Yeah. And 3 day. He worked 3 day in week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's write this.
3 days. Okay. A week. Yes.
That's all? Does he
That's
work?
all.
Does he work with old people? Does he work with children? Does he work with teenagers? Or does he work for example, does he work for? You said at a public hospital. He works at a public. Does he have a private practice? Does he work in a private clinic, for example, in the afternoon, maybe, if he's Libyan?
Yes. Only in public.
Only in public. Okay, so he only works in the public sector.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's not bad. That's good. Here we have more questions about work in exercise number 5, and this time they want to ask you these questions. But first of all, before we talk about ourselves, we want to do the matching first. Okay. So it's a 2-in-1 question. So part A is matching. So can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have A, B, C, D, right?
Okay.
Okay, so take a minute, just 1 minute, and I want you to read 1, 2, 3, 4, and then read A, B, C, D, and then decide which is the best match for each one. Okay, so take a minute, read it first, and then we can do it together.
Okay.
All right.
Can I start?
You can start.
Okay.
Took it.
Can I start?
Yes, Hind, you can start.
Okay, first one, how do you get to work or university or school?
How much does it cost?
The answer is
Hands.
okay.
Hands.
Hello. Hello
How
again.
do you
Hi,
get
Malak.
to work, university, or school? And the answer is I go by train. Okay. Number two, how long does it take it took out 40 minutes?
How long?
Sorry.
Okay, you did number 1 and 2, that's okay. But Hind, your internet is not very, your voice is too choppy. I think you need to check your internet connection. Maybe you don't have coverage, maybe your network.
Yes.
Now it's okay.
It takes.
You will
How long?
Sorry.
So I'm in again.
Okay. Let's hear from. Let's see. Let's Malak. Let us see Malak's answer. Can you do? Okay. And Hind did number 1 and 2, and number 3 and 4. Can you do number 3 and 4? We want to match. This is the idea of the question. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to match them with ABC.
How long?
Okay. How far is it? It's about 15 kilometers.
Okay. And the last one?
How much does it cost? It costs about $30 in a week.
Okay. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so now do you see all these questions? This time we want to do them about ourselves. So the idea is one of us will ask the other, and the other will answer about his daily life. For example, so Muhammad can ask maybe Hind, or Malak can ask Muhammad, and the question will be, how do you get to work? And the other one will answer and say bye and talk about it. And then you need to say how long it takes you to get to work, the time it takes. And also you need to try to calculate how much does it cost. Here in Libya, of course, if you're using petrol, I don't think it costs a lot, but let's make a rough estimate. Let's try to calculate how much you spend, okay? So Hind, you can ask Muhammad, okay? You can do the questions, and Muhammad will give us the answers, and then we'll change, okay?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, I ask you.
Okay. So I'm going to start. How do you get to work?
By my car.
Okay.
Yes.
You can ask him the next question, Hind.
Hello. Okay. But first, excuse me, Muhammad, what are you doing? Are you employee or student or what? Or both of them? Muhammad?
Sorry, I can't hear it.
Yes, can you repeat the question again, please?
You can't
Hind?
hear me.
Yeah, he couldn't hear you because your voice. Can you say it again?
Okay. What are you doing exactly? Are you a student or an employee or both of them? Do you hear me?
Okay.
Now?
Okay. I am petroleum engineer and work for Milita company as senior operator plant, oil plant.
Good. Done.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let me ask you, how long does it took you to get to your company, to your work?
In desert road, it's take about 1 hour.
1 hour. Oh, it's too much. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can continue. You can ask him the next 2 questions, and number 3 and 4, and he will answer.
Okay. How far is it?
About 70 kilometers. About 70 kilometers in the desert.
Okay, so that's mean you mean this distance to the field?
Yeah. From my house to the field, about 70 kilometers.
Okay, how much does it cost?
For what?
Trip?
For
your
what?
Trip
How much?
From your trip from your house to the field.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it cost?
Do you have to pay, Mohammed, to go from the house to the field, or is it maybe?
No, free.
Mm-hmm.
So you go
my
with
car, maybe.
buy your car.
Sometimes my company sends the car to me.
Transportation.
Mm-hmm. So this means the company covers the transportation for you.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, very nice. Okay, now Malak, if she's free, she can answer. She can ask Hind. Malak, are you there?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
Or maybe go ahead. Yes, you can ask her, Malak.
Okay.
Or do you want to answer? Maybe you want to answer better.
Okay, as you like. Maybe I ask her.
Okay.
Okay, you're welcome.
How do you get to your work, Hind?
Actually, I'm a student.
Okay, I'm sorry. How do you get to university?
Okay, I go
school?
by car. Actually, in fact, my mother's car.
Okay. How long does it take you to your college, university?
Okay, it takes about, let me see, 50 minutes.
Okay. How far is it?
It's about, I think, 7 kilometers or something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay. How much does it cost?
It doesn't cost anything. It's for free.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, because in Libya petrol is cheap, so it's for free.
Yeah.
All right, now the last turn. So Mohammed, you can ask Malak this time, and let's see about Malak, how she goes to work, how she travels.
Okay. Malak.
Yes.
How do you get to university?
No, work. School.
High school.
Yes. I go to school by car.
Oh my God. Okay. How long does it take?
It takes about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Mm.
How far is it?
It's about 5 kilometers.
Okay. How much does it cost?
About 40, maybe 20 dinars a week.
Okay.
Oh,
A week.
so expensive.
Yes. Because in the south of Libya, Sabha, the petrol is very not cheap, expensive. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard about that.
Yes, thanks.
Yes, maybe Mohammed can send you some petrol from his company.
Okay.
He has all the
Yes,
petrol
that's a good
and
idea.
he doesn't want to share. He keeps it to himself.
That's a good idea.
There are two fields around Sabha.
But some people buy them for another people.
Surrounded them.
Repsol company. and Milita company. الفيل field, شرارة field.
So there are lots of fields near Sabha.
Yes, it's business here, not.
Yes, that's the problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so in exercise C now, this time we're going to read about a new TV series, okay? And we want to find out what is it about, and then we want to find out what is a commuter. So we want to understand this in more detail. So first of all, it says read about the series, then answer these questions. Okay, so let me take you to the second page. Here we have information about the series. So we have this part. So the series, what is the series called? Can you see the name of the series?
Series سلسلة يعني.
Correct. This is the meaning of series.
Television show, right?
It's a television show. But here we have two words which are similar. I want you to tell me the difference between these words. What's the difference?
Which one?
Maybe serious, maybe facts.
What's the opposite of serious?
Opposite.
Celebrate.
Okay, yes. Usually celebrations are not serious, yeah?
Yes.
But for example, if we say Muhammad is a serious man, what do you think is the opposite of serious?
Very good. No.
What does it mean?
Sorry, I think.
Serious. Fun.
Okay,
Fun.
correct.
Funny.
Fun or funny.
Who's the change? No, it's not fun. Okay, it's fun.
Yeah, so, but
funny.
What's funny? Funny is maybe it's okay. So serious is someone who doesn't joke, someone who's a serious person, right? So this is always serious. This is serious.
Doesn't change.
But a person who's fun, he's not serious. A person who is fun is not serious. What's the difference between fun and funny? For example,
funny. Adverb. Funny.
Correct. Funny is an adverb. Actually, funny is
fun adjective.
Even funny is an adjective. So if you say, for example, I saw a funny movie, or Muhammad is a funny person. So here we're using it's also an adjective. And fun is also. What about fun? Is it an adjective?
Yes, I think fun is adjective.
Are you sure? What do you think, Mohammed?
What?
Do you think fun, that we were talking about the difference between fun and funny?
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is?
Funny adjective.
All right, okay. What about fun? Correct, funny is adjective, but what about
object?
Fun?
Object?
Object?
No. Funny adjective, fun.
Can we use it in a sample, in a sentence, in an example? Fun. Okay, for example, let's say I want to talk about my trip to Italy, okay? So do you think it's better to say the trip was very nice, I had a lot of, should I say fun or funny?
Funny.
should I say, for example, I had a lot of funny or I had a lot of fun in Italy?
Noun? Do you think it's noun?
It's a noun. Fun
Yes.
is a noun. So it's like the difference between hot and heat. So you can say today the weather is hot. There's a lot of heat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the difference between a noun and an adjective. And here in the second comparison between series and serious, the pronunciation is different, the spelling is different, and the meaning is different, okay? So yes. Series, like Hind said, series is a TV show, a series, right? So every day you watch a new episode, مسلسل, series. But serious, what's the meaning of serious in Arabic? The translation, serious.
Series, مسلسل أو سلسلة.
This is series.
Okay, series. Okay.
But serious.
جدي.
Correct. Serious, جدي. It's the opposite of maybe funny. Serious, funny, عكس. Okay? So I want you just to know the difference between series and serious. Okay, where does Muhammad work? Does he work in the or which one? The first one or the second?
First one.
And what does the second one mean?
These are something sweet.
Correct. Yes. So we have desert, and we have dessert. Dessert. Okay. So do you know what's the difference? Do you know what's the difference in pronunciation? Desert, the stress is in the beginning, but dessert, the word stress is in the end. Do you see the importance of? Do you see the stress? هذه قصة الستريس غيرتنا معنى الكلمة هنا. لو أنت قلت desert كانت الشدة متاعك في البداية desert المستمع حيعرف تتكلم على الصحراء صح؟ desert لكن لو حطيت الشدة متاعك في الأخير dessert حيعرفك المستمع حيسمعك أنك أنت تتكلم عن الحلويات sweets بقلاوة شوكولاتة حاجة أوكي؟ فهذه قصة اللي هي موضوع عن بكري اللي هو الورد ستريس تكلمنا عليه فهم محاولين مركزين عليه في الكتاب هذا باش يبوكم تجيبوا البرونانسيشن correct. اوكي خلينا نشوف نرجع لموضوعنا. Super commuters. This is the name of the show, the series. This is the name of the series. Okay. So here, this is the name of the channel ITV5. This is the name of the channel. And this is the time of the series, time of broadcast. So you can watch an episode of Super Commuters every day at 8 p.m. Okay? Okay, so now I want you to take some time and I want you to read this story, the one about Mick Benton, okay? Mick Benton, sorry. So take a few minutes. Read the story about Mick Benton and let's see.
Okay. Mick Benton's first content new documentary series looks at
Okay, did you finish reading? Did you finish, Mohammed Malak? Have you finished, Mohammed? Are you there? Okay, have you finished, Malak?
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay. Okay, Mohammed, عندك مشكلة في الصوت, no problem.
Yes,
okay.
me
So,
too. I left and go inside the meeting.
All right, no problem. Okay, are you back,
Okay.
Mohammed? Hi. Okay, so now let's do the questions. Let me take you to the questions. Okay, let's look for, I did a screenshot, I'm looking for it now. Okay, so let's do the question now. Let's go back to the questions and let's try to answer. So here we have our text, and here we have our question. So let's enlarge this so we can see both. Okay, so can you see both of them on the screen? Can you see it? Is it clear, the questions and the text?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes. What
All right.
about them?
I think my camera is jammed. Let's see. Okay, so let's start with the first question. Question number 1. It says, who lived in Bangkok? So who lived in Bangkok?
Mick Benton.
Mick
Correct.
Benton, yes.
Yes. So Mick Benton, he's the one who lived in Bangkok. That's correct. How long did it take Mick to get to work? How long?
2 hours.
Correct. It took him 2 hours. Is this a lot or not a lot? What do you think?
A lot.
It's a
So
lot.
a lot, yes. Yes, a
Yeah.
lot. Yes.
Because how far was his office? How far?
4 kilometers,
4
I believe.
kilometers.
His-
4 kilometers.
Yes, exactly. His office was only 4 kilometers away from his office, his home. I mean, correct? Okay. What about number 4? The question says, how long do people in Bangkok spend in traffic jams?
Maybe 8 hours. How it means the time?
Yes, the time. How long means the
7
time.
or 8 hours a
Yes.
day.
8 hours, yes.
Exactly, yes. Some of them spend up to 8 hours, so from 7 to 8 hours a day. What do you think of this kind of traffic?
Very
Is it-
crowded, maybe.
Yes, it's very, very crowded. Yes. Do you think it's normal to stay in traffic 7 or 8 hours?
No, it's not normal.
All right. Okay. What about the next question? It says here, who works for a multinational company?
Tony Roger.
Tony Rogers.
Okay, that's correct. Yes. So Tony Rogers, he's the one who works for a multinational company. Okay. And what about the editor in the story? Who's the editor in the story?
Mike Benton.
Andrea Price.
Are you sure?
Andrea.
Correct.
Andrea
Yes.
Price.
Andrea Price, she's the one who works as an editor. She works as an editor. Okay. And who lives in Spain?
Hicks.
Correct? Ian Hicks. So Ian Hicks, he lives in Spain. Yeah?
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Experiment in West London.
No, West London. Yes, yes.
He works. Yeah, he works in East London, in West London, but
Yes,
but he
in
commutes all the way from Spain.
From Santander. Okay, yeah. Okay.
What do you think of Ian Hicks? He lives in Spain, but he works in London.
That's very difficult.
Yes, and
I think the word is
he is
small
super
village.
commuter.
yes, exactly. He's a super commuter. This is Ian Hicks. He's a super commuter. So he takes a very long distance to go to work and go back home. Yeah. Okay, so this is a little story here.
Yes.
So you can see this is like a review. We call this a review. Okay. So this is a short review from a show. Can you hear me? Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is a short review. All right, a short review for a show. Now let's go to the next set of questions here. So read the series and then answer the questions. So we answer the questions. Now our next question here is question number 7. Let's go to question number 7. All right. So here in question number 7, it says, we have a bit of grammar questions, subject questions, subject questions. All right, so in English, usually sometimes we have a subject, verb, and object. So what's a subject, verb, object? This is the most basic sentence in English has a subject, a verb, and an object. Okay, so the subject is the person or the noun who usually does the action, right? And the object, this is the noun or the maybe the preposition where the action is done to, if we want to think of it in this way. I like to think of the simple example when we're thinking of subject, verb, object. Always think of this simple example. So we can say, Mike kicked the... Can you see this sentence?
Yes.
Yeah, Mike kicked
the ball.
Mike kicked the ball. Yeah, this is a very simple subject, verb, object sentence. Yeah. So now we want to make questions. We want to make subject questions. So we want to make questions about subject sentences. These normal sentences. So the first, yeah. You can read the first question, Ahmed.
Who was kicked the ball?
Okay, good. But there's one thing.
Who is kicked the ball?
Okay, take away verb to be. Remove verb to be.
Sorry?
Don't use is, don't use was.
Okay.
Can you say it?
Who did kick the ball?
Don't use did. Okay, how do you change it? Just use the same verb.
Who kicked the ball?
Excellent, that's it. Who kicked the ball?
Okay, because we use who.
Yeah, and here in all these questions, we don't have verb to be.
Yeah. Because who?
Yes. But sometimes with who, sometimes we use verb to be. So we can say, who is the teacher? And we can say the teacher is Mohammed, the teacher is Malak, the teacher is Suhail. Yeah. So sometimes we use verb to be. But in this example, these examples, all of these examples are past simple and present simple. So this is without verb to be, okay? What about question number 1 here? Who made the TV program? What do you think? From the story, who made the TV program?
Mike Bolton made the TV program.
Correct, yes. So Mick Benton, he made the TV program, the TV series. That's correct. And who lives in Paris?
Andrea.
Correct. And let's use full sentences.
I didn't read the story well.
You didn't read the story. Okay, so you can see the story now, and we want to answer the questions, but I want you to give me a full answer. For example, Mohammed, who made the TV program? Can you give me the full answer?
Mike Benton made the TV program.
That's it. Okay, correct. Mick Benton made the TV program. Mick Benton made the TV program. Do we use S or do we drop the S? Do we use it or leave it?
Sorry?
Do you see the S here? The S with Mike Benton's
No.
Fascinating new documentary. In the story, we can see an S. Mick Benton's fascinating new documentary. Can you see it? Mick Benton's. Okay, I'm going to write it here. So Mick Benton's. Why do we have this S here?
S. Possessions.
Very good. Exactly, yes. New car, for example. So this S, this is a possessive S. Possessive S. Because if you go back to the story, if you see the story here, it says Mick Benton's fascinating new documentary series. Because he is the owner. He made the series. Do you understand? That's why we use possessive S. Is this clear, Mohammed, Hind? Do you get this point, the S point?
Yes, yes, it is.
Mohammed, is it clear?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, الأس يعني مجرد ملكية بس لأن في القطعة كانوا يتكلموا لك على الدوكيومنتري, that's why. So in the answer, your answer is correct, Mohammed. Who made the TV program? Mick Benton made the TV program. This is the full answer. Okay. Now number 2, Malak, you can do number 2. Who lives in Paris?
Sarah Maid lives in Paris.
Are you sure?
And
Yes,
Andrea.
Sarah Maid lives in Paris.
Andrea.
No.
In the story, who lives in Paris? In the story. In the story, Andrea Price. Yeah?
Andrea. Mm-hmm.
Second paragraph.
Yeah, second paragraph, sentence 1, 2, 3, 4. Sentence
Above the picture.
Yeah, above the picture, exactly. Sentence number 4, paragraph 2. Andrea Price lives in Paris. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, Hind, can you do number 3? What did Mick Benton make?
Mick Benton made the TV program.
Okay, good. Can you do it? Can you do the full answer, and can you do it slowly?
Okay. Mick Benton made the TV program.
Very good. Do we say make or made?
Made.
Make.
In the answer, make or made?
Made.
Why?
Wait, let me think. Just a minute. Because we are talking about something he already did, right?
Correct.
And when you check the question, you'll find what did Mike Benton make. So we are talking about what he did.
Yes, exactly.
He already did.
That's correct. Because it's in the past. Mm-hmm. It's in the past.
Yes.
What did Mick Benton make? Okay, can you give me the full answer again one last time, please? Hint.
Mick Benton made the TV program.
Yes. Mick Benton made a TV program, or made the TV program. Good.
TV program.
Sorry. But we talk about true.
What's true?
So maybe make.
Make. You mean we're talking about facts?
Facts, yeah.
Yeah. For facts we use present simple, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But here it's not a fact. This is an event. An event. حدث.
حدث, yes.
And this happened in the past and the action is finished. But a fact, for example, I'll write. Can you give me an example of a sentence with a fact, Mohammed? Any sentence with a fact, present simple.
Fact.
Yes, a sentence with a fact.
maybe water is boil at 100 degrees.
Very good. That's a good example. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. This is a good example. Okay. Now, what's the difference between this? Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, and this example when we say Mick Benton made a TV series. Now, what's the difference between these two? What do you think the difference is, in your opinion? What's the difference, Mohammed, in your opinion? What about
sentences? Fact. Two sentences fact.
The two sentences are fact. What do you think, Malak and Hind? What do you think the difference between these sentences is? Or let's use another sentence, okay? Let's use an easier one.
I don't know, maybe
Okay. Muhammad went to
past. The first sentence is present simple, but the second sentence is past simple.
Okay, but the second sentence, is it a fact or not a fact? And what does fact mean here? What do you think, Hind?
Okay,
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
Did you get the idea, Mohammed? Okay, I'll show you the difference, because when you say go ahead.
Maybe the fact is the rule.
Okay, correct. This is one thing. Correct. A fact is like a rule. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a fact is true all the time, every time. It means anytime you put water 100, anytime it will boil, every time, all the time. But for example, Mohammed went to work yesterday. Maybe today he's ill. Maybe he changes the company. Maybe he travels. Maybe he stays at home. It's not a fact every day. It's not necessary. Do you get the idea? There's a bit of a difference. So for example, number 2, Mohammed went to work yesterday, or Mick Benton made a TV program. Maybe in the future he will not make any more shows. Maybe this is the last show. So we call these events حدث, and it's in the past. This is a past event. Okay? But if you say, for example, Mike Benton makes, if we want to make it like a habit, because present simple can also be used for habits, yeah? For things which are repeated every day. So for example, if I say Mohammed goes to work at 7 o'clock. Is this a fact, or is it a habit?
Habit.
It's a routine. It's a routine. It's a habit. It's a routine. And of course, for routines and habits, we use present simple. Yeah. So for facts and for routines, we use the same thing. We use past. We use the present simple, and this is repeated. This is هذا الشيء المشترك بين الفاكت وبين الروتين، ان هم فيهم تكرار. يعني قصة الفاكت كل ما تكررها هي نفس الشيء بتطلع لك، مش هتتغير، هي ثابتة يعني. نفس الشيء بالنسبة للهابتس والروتينز، هذه ما يكونوا هذاك شكلهم يعني مستمرات. Okay, do you get the idea? But here when we say what did Mick Benton make, this is one time. We only want to talk about one event. نتكلم على حدث معين بذاته اللي صار في الماضي. This is the idea. All right?
Okay, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So what's the correct answer, Mohammed? What do you think?
Made.
Okay, can you
Make
give me the full sentence?
Make Benton. Made TV. Made the TV program.
Or a TV program, correct? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's correct.
Made the TV program.
Correct. Okay, now number 4. Okay, hint. Can you do number 4?
Andrea Browns. Just a minute. Let me check the paragraph. Okay. Okay. Where does Andrea Price? The answer is Andrea Price lives in Paris.
That's correct. That's correct. Andrea Price lives in Paris.
Paris.
Yeah. Okay, now in part B here, it says, which 2 questions ask about the subjects of the sentences?
Number 1 and 2. Number
Correct.
1 and 2.
That's right. So number 1 and number 2, these are subject sentences, okay? So number 1 and 2 are subject. Hey, let's put a little mark here. Number 1 and 2 are subject sentences because they ask about the subject, the person. Who made the TV program? Nick Benton. Who lives in Paris? Andrea Price. Okay. But in part C, it says, how are the question forms in number 1 and 2 different from the question forms in number 3 and 4? So what's the difference between questions 1 and 2 and 3 and 4? What do you think the difference is?
And the difference is about 1 and 2 ask about subject, but 3 and 4 ask about object.
Correct. Correct. Yes. This is the idea. Number 1 and 2, they mainly ask about the subject, but 3 and 4, they ask about the object of the sentence. Yeah. So here, let's go to page 120. Here we have a little revision for this, for the difference between subject questions and the object questions here. So let's go to 120 and let's see the difference. All right, so here we have okay, can you see this side here on the right?
Yes.
Subject questions, yeah. So you can see, is it clear? Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit, maybe this will help. All right, can you see this part on the right side? So here we have a little revision. It says subject questions. So subject questions, of course, when you use who, this is a subject question, and the answer is, of course, the subject. But a non-subject question, it doesn't ask about the subject, all right? It asks about the object in this sentence. Let's read the four tips, okay? Okay, Malak, can you read the first tip here, please?
We use who when we ask about the subject of a sentence, and the subject is a person. Subject question have the same word order as positive sentence.
All right.
We don't use do, does, or did in present simple and past simple subject questions. We use do, does, or did in present simple and past simple question that ask about object or preposition plus noun.
Correct. That's correct. So the idea, the summary of all of this is, if you want to ask about the subject, don't use do, does, or did. Okay, so don't use the auxiliary verb do. Don't use it, all right? This is the idea.
Okay.
And it says here, if you want the last tip. Mohammed, can you read the last tip, please?
We can tip.
Mm-hmm.
We can also make subject question with what, whose, and which.
Yes.
What happened?
These are examples,
Yeah. Whose your journey takes 2 hours? Which journey costs the most?
All right, so these are questions we can use about the supercommuter story. Let's use these questions to talk about the supercommuter story. So here, let's use them, okay? Here we have the supercommuter story. And I'm going to ask you the questions and you can answer me. Okay, so let's start with the last question. Which journey costs the most in the story? What do you think? Of course, we don't have the number, so we want to guess. Which journey costs the most?
From Santander to London.
Correct. So you can say the journey from Santander to London. I think this is probably the most expensive journey because it's the longest, yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, what about this question? Whose journey takes 2 hours? Whose journey takes 2 hours?
I think I'm not sure, but as I remember, I think Mr. McPenton.
Correct. That's correct. So this is also a subject question because we only want the subject. So when you say whose journey takes 2 hours, you'll say Mick Benton's journey.
Mick Benton.
Or you can just say Mick Benton. That's all. And what happened here? It's a general question. I don't know if we can use it here, but it's also a subject question. What happened? Mohammed's late. What happened? I'm ill, or whatever. So what happened is also a subject question in this rule. So here it's a revision for subject questions and non-subject questions. Okay, so let's go back now. Let's go back. Okay, so we have some nice exercises here. So it says in exercise 8, write questions for the words in bold. So they want us to make subject questions. Okay, this is what they want because they want us to make questions for the words in bold. So whenever you see the bold word, you need to make a question about it. Okay, so let's do the first one. Let me read the example first. So Mick worked in Bangkok, and the question is,
where?
No, number one, Mick worked in
yes,
Bangkok.
Who? Question who?
Because we want to ask about Mick, yeah?
Yes.
But what about the question number 2, Malak?
Where?
Exactly.
Where? Yes. Where did Mike do work?
Correct. That's correct. Let's write it. Where did Mick work? Do we say work or worked?
Work, because we already
did. Where did Mike work?
Correct.
Can't say work.
That's right. Because in the question form, when we want to use the past simple in the question form, we don't use the ed in the question. We only use did. Okay. Okay,
يعني
Mohammed.
حتى في فكرة لما تخش does ولا did يعود الفعل للمصدر infinitive.
Correct. صح. That's correct. Okay, Mohammed, can you do number 3, please?
Who lives in Spain?
Very good. Who lives in Spain? Very nice. That's correct. Number 4, Hind, can you do number 4?
Where Mr. Ian live? I'm not sure. Am I correct?
You're almost correct. But you forgot something.
Where did?
Does.
Yes.
Does. I'm sorry. Where does?
Okay, very good. Now, why did we use does? Why?
Because we are talking about Ian.
No,
Okay.
Lives. S.
Yes, I know.
Live or lives?
Oh. Live. Because we already used does.
Yes.
Correct. But here, why did we use does here?
Because we are talking about Mr. Ian.
So what?
We can't use does for he, she, it.
When we use does, we add s and lives.
Plus s, yes.
Do we use the s here in the question?
No, without s.
Without s,
Not as.
But here we use does because this is present simple. Because Ian, when we say Ian lives in Spain, this is present simple. It's a habit. This is where he always lives. Do you get the idea?
Okay, routine.
So, okay, what's the difference between Ian lives in Spain and Ian is living in Spain?
Is it continuous?
Correct, it's continuous. But what's the difference in meaning? Is there a difference in meaning or is it the same meaning? If I say Ian lives in Spain or if I say Ian is living in Spain. Let's write it. Ian is...
The same meaning.
Okay.
No.
What do you think, Malak and Hind?
He is living.
Now, it's now, maybe. It means now, living in Spain.
But also Ian lives in Spain also now, yeah or no? Is it in the past?
No, not
past.
the past. It's always maybe yes.
I think this is present simple and this is continuous present continuous.
Okay, correct. And this is the difference in grammar, but I'm asking about the difference in meaning.
Your meaning. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Malak, you were right when you said Ian is living in Spain now. At the moment, you're right. Correct. Your answer here is correct. But Ian lives in Spain. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe.
What do you think, Muhammad?
Maybe when we speak. Muhammad said the same meaning.
All right. Okay, I'll tell you the difference here. Because when you say lives, when you say, for example, I live in Libya, or when you say I'm living in Libya, if you say I live in Libya, this is your permanent house. This is where you normally live, where you stay most of the time, most of the year. This is where you usually stay in your life, in general speaking. But if you say, so it's permanent. Do you know the word permanent?
Yes,
No.
yes.
Okay.
Not always.
Permanent. We have permanent and we have temporary. Okay, I'm going to
Temporary.
write
Okay.
Permanent is the opposite of temporary.
دائم.
Yes, correct, Mohammed. So if you use present simple, Ian lives in Spain, this is permanent. This is his normal house. This is where he lives. This is his home. Of course, he goes to vacation and he travels, but he comes back to Spain because this is where he lives. This is his permanent residence. This is his house, his home, okay? But if you say, I'm living in Spain, it means you're not staying there all the time. It's not your permanent residence. This is temporary. Maybe for a month, maybe you have a job, maybe you have a contract, and then you will go to somewhere else. Okay. So this is the difference. Present simple. It's like, remember when you said like a fact or like a habit or like a routine. It's always like this. Present simple. It's always more time. You spend more time. All right. So number 5. Who wants to do number 5?
Who does work for a newspaper?
Okay. Make a small difference. Change something very small.
Who does work? I'm sorry. Who does work for a newspaper? Oh no.
But this is a subject question.
Yes. Who?
Correct.
Where does Andrea work? Andrea work. Andrea works for a newspaper.
Okay, this is the answer. But what about the question?
Yeah. Where?
Who works?
For a newspaper?
Who works for a newspaper?
Correct. Yes.
Why we don't use does?
Because this is a subject question. And for subject questions, we don't use do or does or did.
Okay. Yes, I see.
Who works?
All right.
Okay.
Who works for a newspaper? Is this clear, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't say do or does here because it's a subject question. It's like here in question like the ones we finished in number 7. Remember, who made the TV program? Benton. Who lives in Paris? Andrea. Remember, it's the same.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, the last one, Hind, you can do number 6. Do you want to do number 6?
Justin, okay. The program start when Mr. McBenton's program start.
Okay, but you can remove McBenton, yeah?
Okay, so when the program start.
Okay, slowly. So we say when?
The program, TV program.
Okay, but you forgot something.
Where did?
Does.
Very good.
Does.
Why? Why do we use does? Does is correct, but why?
Did.
Present simple.
No,
correct, but why did you choose present simple? Why?
We use do or does between, maybe.
Not all the time. For example, if I want to ask you about your last trip, I will say, when did you go to Italy? So I can say did with when. But here, why did we use does? Why did you use does?
Because it's present simple.
But why is it present simple?
Because it's حدث متكرر يعني.
Exactly.
Yes,
habit.
Yeah, it's repeated. It's a routine. Because a series is repeated. Every day, a new episode every day at 8 o'clock. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so now number 9, it says listen to part of the TV program and find one reason why Tony, Andrea, and okay, let me look if I can find. Let me see if I can find the listening. I think there is no listening, but let me see if there's a listening. Okay, just a second. Let's see, because I think I downloaded the listening track. So because here we have some questions. Sorry. Okay, so no listening, unfortunately. I didn't download the listening yet. Okay, so let's check the track. Let's see, I think there's the track. We can check the track. Okay, so unfortunately we can't do this exercise now because I haven't prepared the tracks and I didn't download the teacher's book. No problem. We can come back to this later. But in this question, in question number 9A, there's a listening track, and we want to find one reason why Tony, Andrea, and Ian live a long way from work. So this is like the second part of the story from Supercommuters, okay? So, so we will do this next time, inshallah, because I haven't prepared the listening. Okay, now let's move to the grammar question here. So here we want to make questions using present simple. So this means all of this is in the present simple. So the first one is already answered, and it says here, who, okay, so here we want to make a few adjustments. So the first one is, okay, let me show you the screen. Let me share the screen again. Where is the screen share? Let's go. All right, so this is the exercise I was telling you about. We will do this next time, number 9A. So we can do this next time. But number 9B, we can do it now. So here the question says, make questions and use the present simple here to make these. Yeah, present simple question. Okay, let's read the number 1 and number 2 first, and then we can do number 3. So number 1, it says, who leaves home at 6:15 a.m. or 6:15 a.m. And the second question, it says, how does Ian travel at home? Travel to work. To work. How does Ian travel to work? Number 3, Mohammed, can you do number 3?
Who finish work at 2 a.m.
All right, can I repeat it again, please?
Who finish?
Finish. Okay.
Finishes work at 2 a.m.
Very good. Why did, that's correct. Why did you use the S?
Because the present simple. Correct.
It's present simple, but in questions we don't use S, right?
Right.
In questions.
Okay. In terms of inventive.
Okay. But finish or finishes?
I believe. S. To add S.
Yes, you should add S, that's correct.
Yeah.
But why? Why do you add S to a question? Is this a subject question or a non-subject question?
Subject.
Yes. If it's a subject question. Yes. If it's a subject question, we leave the S. But if it's a non-subject question, there's no S. Look at question number 2. Can you see question number 2? How does Ian travel? We don't say travels. We say travel. No S.
Because we have does.
Yeah, exactly. And because it's a non-subject question, we have does, exactly. And it's a non-subject question, okay? All right, very nice, Mohammed. Your answer is correct. Who finishes work at 2 a.m.? Very nice. All right, Hind, you can do number 4.
Number 4, how long it took Ian to get to work? It takes Ian to get to work about, let me check the paragraph, about, there's not specific time.
4 hours.
Where is it? 4 hours.
Over 2 hours.
The paragraph and,
yeah, in the first paragraph.
Over 2 hours. Okay, thank you.
But can you repeat the question again, please, Hind?
Question. Okay. How long it took Ian to get to work?
I think you forgot something.
Yes.
How long?
How long?
It take?
Okay. Look at question number 2.
No.
Do it the same way as number 2.
Okay. How long it takes? No.
Number 2, not 3. 2.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Auxiliary.
Yeah, there's an auxiliary.
How I am traveling.
Okay, let her do it. Let's give her a chance.
Okay. How to work it does. Wait. How does long it take?
How long?
Am I correct?
Try again, but yes, we need to use does.
How long it does take Ian to get to work? Or how long it does take to get to work?
Oh, okay. Read question number 2,
Where's
please.
my mistake?
Read number 2, Hind.
How Ian travel to work? How does Ian travel to work?
Now do number 4.
Okay. No, I'm confused. No, thank you. Just. How does Ian travel to work? Where is it? How does how long? No, I couldn't. I don't know how.
Let's leave it. You can think of it, and I'll come back to you, Hind. Okay. Now number 5, Malak. Can you do number 5?
Okay. Who spends $8 a year on travel?
Okay. Is it $8?
Euro?
Pound.
It's pound.
I'm sorry. No, 8,000.
Correct. Your answer is correct. Who spends £8,000 a year on travel? Okay, good. Mohammed, can you do number 6, please?
Where does Andrea stay when she's in London?
Very good. Very nice. Where does Andrea stay when she's in London? Very nice. Okay, Hind, can you do number 7?
7. Who commute to London 5 days?
Okay, is it a subject question or non-subject question?
I think subject.
Correct.
Who commuted to London 5 days a week?
Okay, is it present or is it past?
S.
Present.
Okay.
Commutes.
Can you do it again, Hind?
No, I'm confused. I think I didn't catch the point.
Okay, so let me explain the question. Here, they want you to make questions with present simple. All of it is in present simple. All the questions are present simple. But there are missing auxiliaries and some small changes we have to make. Okay. Now, some of the questions are subject questions. Some of the questions are non-subject questions. If it's a subject question, we need to put S with the verb. If it's a non-subject question, we need to put an auxiliary. Okay? Okay. Hind, can you read question?
I'm sure. I'm gonna try.
Question number 1. Can you read number 1? The answer of number 1.
Okay, let me try with the number 7, okay?
All right.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try. Who commutes to London 5 days a week?
Okay. the verb is correct, but can you repeat it again?
Who commutes to London 5 days a week?
That's correct. That's correct. Who commutes to work 5 days a week? Okay. Now go to number 4. Number 4. Is it a subject question or non-subject question?
How long it takes to get to non-subject.
Okay. And if we have a non-subject, we have to put an auxiliary, yes?
Yes.
How long is together? Don't separate it. It's together.
Okay, how long? How long does it take Ian to get to work?
Yay! Celebration.
Yeah.
At the end of the lesson. Very good, very good.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations too.
All right. Okay, so
thank you for your help.
You're welcome. So this is, like you see, this is in the first unit. This is all a revision, by the way. This is all from elementary. They're trying to help you remember everything you studied. It's still unit 1 and 2 are like this. There's more revision, I think, than new things. Okay.
Okay.
Also, I want to say thank you for your time, and I'm going to send you the workbooks, okay? I'm going to download the workbooks, and when I send you the workbooks, I'd like you to start doing the workbook, please. The workbook, you have Unit 1A and 1B, because we finished today 1B. Did we finish it? I think we finished it. Yeah, we finished 1B, exercise 9. Yeah, we finished 1B, okay? So 1A and 1B is homework. If you can't finish both of them, that's okay. Just finish 1A and then 1B, maybe next time, no problem, tomorrow or after tomorrow, okay? So I'll send you the workbook, okay? And if you have any questions, please send me all of your questions in the inbox. Also, there's the VIP group I started today on the page.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah. This
and
is for
I enjoy.
this is for all the students, okay? If you're a student, you can join.
Okay.
So this means you can join, and I'm going to start a conversation class, and I think it's going to be per hour. So it's not a course. If you want to practice your conversation for an hour and a half, it's 10 dinners for normal, for public, but for students, it's 5 dinners. This means for you, it's 5. It will be 5. 1 hour and a half, 5 dinners. Just send, this is an extra course, by the way. It's optional. It's this is conversation. If you're interested, I'll write the details in the group. But of course, for the students like you, it's half price. It's not 10 for the others, but it's 5.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. So see you next time. Thank you for your time. If you have any comments, anything, please send me on the inbox. Okay.
Okay.
All right then. Have a great day.
Time.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye. Bye.
Mama.